Bliss, we're here at the Dragon Shed, the grand opening.
Grand
We'll
opening.
get a little tour.
Yep. Come on in.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what's going on.
You can have a little bit.
Hey everybody.
Yeah.
I'm Peter,
Hi,
coming to
Peter.
visit.
How are
Oh,
you?
I recognize you from the album. I have it in my truck.
Yay!
I listen to it a lot. Thank you so
Oh, it
much.
makes
Good
me
vibes. You know, it
happy.
makes me happy too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. When did you complete the project?
We just finished it up midsummer, a couple months ago. And then even still, it was done, but we were, you're turning wrenches like, okay, I gotta get the trim up. All right, now I gotta get this little piece up. So
Yeah,
it's definitely been like, something that we've been chipping away at for a while. I think, had this been like a build for a customer, we would have been like, a couple months, in and out. But because it's on my property, I'm like, okay, well, we'll cut the frame. Oh, let's go stand the frame. Oh, we got a couple days. All right, let's do this. And so that's kind of how it came together.
Nice.
The biggest push was when we did the hemping. We did that continuously for about 5 days, full on.
Yeah.
We had a workshop over the weekend.
Nice.
But then it was mostly me and just my crew doing the hemping part of it. And then the same thing with the plaster. We did that in 4
Did you have to get permits for it?
Zoning permit because we built it under 200 square feet. So it's just where it sits on the property more or less.
Got it. Okay, cool. So that was one of the motivations to keep it under
Keep it
200.
small. Yep.
Got it.
Keep small.
All right. Well, I want the full tour.
All right, well, come on, let's do it.
Nice. There's all the firewood you were telling me about.
Yeah, the firewood. Forget it.
Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
my God. Yeah, so
Beautiful.
when I was designing it with my friend, I kind of came to him with a napkin drawing and was like, "Bro, I think like Japanese pagoda-ish. Let's kind of like really be influenced by that or whatever." So that's kind of how we ended up with some of like the rafter tail designs. With this door trim was definitely something like I had seen. Maybe on those like Japanese screens or whatever, and definitely made my own version of it, but definitely draw inspiration.
Definitely. And you got some peekaboo.
Yeah, that's
Here.
right. So you can see the hemp. Eventually, a friend of mine made some cement tiles, dragon tiles that are going to go in there.
Right.
But for right now, it's a nice little reveal window.
Beautiful. All right, let's go in.
All right.
Oh, look at that. That's great. Oh, I love it.
To me, this building was about like the details. Let's do something that
fun.
I can really go like over the top with. Let's do something where I can really show the things I love doing. And so of course, the mortise and tenon joinery. We even made the light socket covers out of Ipe.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like how creative can we really get with this thing? And to me, I feel like it's something that could be in someone's backyard. It's their office. It's a place to come be creative. It's a place to maybe do yoga or meditate. For us, we're musicians that we're definitely doing a lot of music.
Yeah, I get a lot of clients that want little yoga studios and backyard oases. This is it.
Yep.
This is like, even you walk 10 steps from your house, you're in a new world.
Completely. Like, how many people have like amazingly like landscaped garden areas and fire pits and stuff, and then you put a small little seating area. It doesn't even have to be this big. You could do half of this size,
Right.
a couple of chairs, and you're out in your garden, and maybe walls and windows and doors open up so you're outside, inside. I mean, there's something special about your own space that's different than your house.
It's like I call place making.
Yeah.
Make a place. So this is an awesome place. And so tell me more about your personal commitment to hempcrete and hand plastering. We know the timber framing is really present and personal.
Yeah.
I get that. But you've really combined the two. You've got hempcrete with timber frame, makes you a very unique builder, and also unique knowledge that not a lot of people in America or the East Coast have right now. So you're really in a neat place. Where's that all coming from for you?
I love the idea of natural, like earth-born building materials. I mean, everything we use is from the earth, right? In one way or another, we've just manipulated it into plastics and everything else that we use. But it's something nice to be like this. You can tell when you get hemp hurd, this came from the land, it came from a farm directly. And then you can mix that with lime, you know, basically just pulverize, you know, crystals up. And then you're adding water and you're making a wall, you're making a building. And you know, you're not only are you making a wall out of the material, it's a breathing wall. It's a wall that, you know, has a unique way to mitigate moisture, so you're not getting like mold places in your walls because the way that, you know, moisture can move through the wall. Especially with the breathing plaster, you know, using the right kind of plaster makes a difference on this type of construction. And it's just really rewarding to see the benefits of it. And this is fun for me to have a piece like this on my property, because now I can play with what can I get away for heat? How thick does the wall have to be? I mean, there are definitely important things to know, you know, what you're using the building for, and then how to go about, you know, sizing it correctly for the needs of.
So how about some of the behaviors of the humidity control and the heating and cooling?
Yeah.
What are you experiencing?
You know, you come in here in the summertime and it's very cool because the walls, you know, they stay cool and it's a shaded part of the lot. So once that wall is cool, it's just like like an air conditioner almost for it. But that can also be your problem in the wintertime too if you don't keep up with keeping the room warm. You walk into here and you have ice cube walls, you turn the heater on, it takes a while for it to really start working. Once you have the walls charged and they're heated, the same thing, and that's, you know, you're using less energy to keep the building warm because it's than a hollow wall, right?
Yeah, you can imagine like a radiant heat eventually, you know, radiant floor heating would be like that slow heat, holding the materials. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. It looks like these windows are operable. Can you?
Yeah.
I see some pins and chains here, to let the air flow.
Totally. So, you know, this building was originally going to be a woodworking workshop for me. So a lot of this stuff in here was kind of like, oh, I had these sliding glass doors that were left over from a job. I would love to use them for windows. So, I built a casement for them, but the window just is sitting in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really like low tech.
Nice. Yeah.
But now you can get air coming through. It
Right.
feels really good. And it was a nice way to be able to reuse material that would potentially go to a landfill.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
I'm an upcycler.
That's what it's all about. I mean,
You know.
That's what it's all about.
Very good. So tell me a little bit about the plaster work.
For sure. So this is a NHL lime plaster. So a historic lime plaster. And the NHL is naturally hydrated lime, different from hydraulic lime. You know, hydraulic lime is typically what you would see for like Portland cement or something like that, and has chemicals. It's superheated, so it grabs moisture and sets quick. It has additional chemicals to help it kick quick, and then it becomes like a non-breathing, non-permeable wall. It's cement, right? The nice thing about the hydrated lime is it's in an active process to recrystallize. So by pulling carbon dioxide from the air around it, it's turning itself back into the crystal rock that it was pulverized from. Right. It's a slower cure. So the cool thing about these walls, though, they're self-healing. So let's say like you put a dent in it or dinged it, you can wet it, bring some new plaster, and it'll join itself really nice. It's a breathing wall. So with the Hempcrete, it's important to use a plaster that's going to allow the wall to breathe.
Beautiful.
So we made our own plaster for this. We took the NHL and then we mixed it with sand and water, and then applied it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And why don't you introduce
this is the beautiful Hannah, my wonderful wife.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
One of my daughters named Shanna, so I get the vibe.
Nice.
And what's your experience of the Dragon Shed?
Yeah. Well, I watched it being built. I got to get my hands in the hemp a little bit for sure, and I love like the community vibe. Right, there was like a lot of people's hands in this building. You know, from like his best friend helping him stand the building, and then a whole bunch of different people coming and hemping, which was really fun. Yeah, I love the space. It was really cool to see it be a vision in his mind, and then him and his friend Brian, you know, came up with a plan, and then have it go from vision to written, and then actually see it starting to come together, and now to see it like fully in the form and the energy of the hemp is, you can't, unless you're feeling it, you can't,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm actually experiencing like the quiet. Yeah. It's quiet, the sound now. So you guys are both musicians. Tell me a little bit about your band, and then how, you know, this maybe a little music going on in here potentially.
Yeah, we have a band called Hannah's Field. And it's, I say, reggae music wrapped in Mother Earth roots. So I write a lot about nature and life and positivity and how to keep our minds from going crazy, really. But yeah, we've done so far. We've had some singing bowls in here. We've brought a drum and an acoustic guitar, and we did do a live stream in here so far. But we haven't done tons of music in here yet. But I am excited to we haven't gotten.
Acoustic instruments sound great in here.
Yeah, they do.
Acoustics sound really good in here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about like the acoustics. Like now that you're really an expert in hemp construction, you know the difference.
You know, it's funny. As soon as you put the plaster on the wall, it gets a lot brighter. So you're getting a lot more like bounce back off of the plaster. Prior to the plaster, it was a lot more like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's something to be said about that. I'm curious about like a natural like a clay plaster, how that would sound. But you know, the benefit too is the open beam ceiling. So you're getting the bounce, which gives you a little echo, but then it gets trapped. Everything else gets trapped up in that wood up there. You know, and so you get a little bit of warmth and you get the brightness. It's cool. It's a nice space.
Yeah, I was in Europe. I was in Amsterdam and went to visit a Hempcrete building, and they painted it with a silicone paint.
Whoa.
So it kept some of that like, textured surface and the feel of the Hempcrete. I was surprised, but they said it was exterior paint.
Wow.
So yeah, so it opens up another dimension to Hempcrete, getting away with, not a lot of plaster work. Potentially, I would go for the inside before the outside, but they did it on a whole municipal building, so it was pretty impressive.
Amazing,
yeah. So we're looking into a lot of applications, and I don't know. I'm excited to see the innovation that's happening around hemp and Hempcrete right now. Is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's coming to America, right? And it's something that it's only going to get more and more, developed. The more that is here, and the more that we start using it and start putting it into small builds and then bigger builds, industrial and residential. And I think Europe is light years ahead of us right now as far as Hempcrete, working with it, and what you can do with it. But we have a lot to learn from those guys, and when we get our hands on it and we start running with it, we're going to take it in our direction too, which is very exciting.
Yeah. Andy, tell me about the vision for the kind of work you want to do, where you see it goes in the United States for you, like on a small scale and a big scale.
For sure. First off, I'm very excited to see Hempcrete being taking a lot more of like a limelight shot in our in the U.S. right now. I'm personally excited in my space to be able to build these small buildings, artisanal builds, very unique frame, very unique shapes in the buildings. And then to me, I feel like the Hempcrete is a perfect application in, a timber frame wall, or, making a weird round, or different things you can do with it. So to me, that's where I see it as like, part of my exploration and artistic builds I think Hempcrete is really a cool component in the building. And I'm very excited to see Hempcrete on a bigger scale. You know, I do little bit of work here and there with Haven Earth, and they're building a housing community.
They're really creating a whole community.
Yeah.
And you can now buy like lots and plots
Completely.
and pre-sales. I've been following them.
Yeah,
Super
You know,
cool.
They got their second house completed. It's just a place they want to show you, the people of the world, that one, it's not, you know, every Hempcrete isn't a hobbit house. It can be very modern. It can be very high end. It can be very like finished. You know, and that was to me like this too. Is like, look, this is something that's like shed size, but look at how finished it can be. It doesn't look like what you think a natural building should look like. And even the plaster on the exterior can be done with, clapboard siding, so it looks like your house next door to the neighbor or whatever. So you build your rain screen, you build it out off of the Hempcrete, so it's still breathing, but now you can finish it in different ways where it looks more in line with what's on the street, which I think is cool too.
Nice. I'm gonna do a quick.
Yeah.
All right. Working together.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
I acknowledge
Peter.
the work. You're very you're like a unicorn.
Aw, man. I can tell you, I really appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate you being here today. I feel like we're similar people cut from the same cloth. When I went to your place and I saw all the antics going on over there, I was like, this guy is just like doing the stuff I love doing. So
Oh
I
yeah, you
appreciate
got it.
it.
I don't know. Did you get to see the greenhouse finished?
I only saw pictures, but I love those scissor trusses. I'm
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, we're using it now, growing,
It's an
and we're,
oasis in there.
yeah. So I'm doing more of that. I just got a new client,
What?
and I proposed a hemp building about this size.
Yep.
Well, it's 800 square feet, but part of the
Ooh.
building about this size, kitchen, living room, is inside a greenhouse.
No.
So they're doing that in Scandinavia.
Wow.
So I got really I presented yesterday, and I
Heck
thought,
yeah.
well, they're not going to go for it. It's a little too radical,
Yeah.
right? And they all loved it.
No.
And we're going to go forward with it in Milford,
Oh,
Connecticut.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and I think I'm looking forward, maybe even your help. Maybe we can do some timber frame there. Well, I have to see. It's just I just presented the concepts yesterday, so
man,
we'll see.
That's amazing.
But if they go for Hempcrete, we're going to see like an outstanding building,
Yeah.
and it's going to coordinate with greenhouse energy, right? Like, we can kind of let the heat go out, but you can get like 3 seasons maybe out of it, or maybe I'll do some underground pipes
cool.
and create 4 seasons, and then
Heck
I really
yeah.
wanted to create a kind of a great room so that they could have a place to hang out in the greenhouse, because it's the parents are moving in. It's an ADU. They're moving in with their kids who just had a baby. So I'm doing a lot of projects like that. People want to move in. They're creating community on like just in a house.
That's
So there's a lot of design that's coming out of that makes a difference for people living together. Even if you're parents, it's hard.
Oh yeah, you need your own space. I think everybody needs their space, and when you've been a family and then you go away and you come back and you're trying to cohabitate again. There's like different dynamics.
Mom, I don't cook like that.
Yeah, totally, right, completely.
Yeah.
But so that's the nice thing, is that everyone's got their space.
Yeah.
And they're all together. And when we grew up, my great grandparents lived with us, and my grandparents, and we had an in-law apartment, but so they had their own space.
Like the family compound.
Yeah, you went and you saw them,
yeah.
cool, but then they were cooking their own dinner and whatever.
Well, 15 years ago, I built an ADU in Connecticut with my mom.
Yeah.
She moved in and helped us raise the kids.
Wow.
And I did it all eco. I did a reclaimed timbers
Wow.
for the Amish made by
Oh my
hand.
God, cool.
I did bamboo floors, radiant heat,
Hell yeah.
low VOC paints, formaldehyde-free insulation. I did my best to do like an
Nice.
eco barn, and I feel like we've come a long way. Like we're even more regenerative products and building systems.
Hell yeah.
So we're kind of like paving the way, right?
That's
Trailblazing,
it.
and
No,
it's
every-
coming. People are
every
getting
little thing
excited.
every little thing we do pushes it further, puts it more in people's eyes, puts it more in their attention. There's something I can tell you about this building and all Hempcretes I've been in, that I can't even tell you unless you come into it. It smells.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
smell is, air is like fresh. People are like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
they got that new smell. It's like, it's always like that in here. It's always like that in here.
Right.
And then the feeling of like, all that recrystallization happening. You're creating like a crystalline building.
Yeah.
The lime is actively in a process of recrystallization. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being part of the Hemp Hub too.
Hey,
Right,
love you
building the
guys and
community.
everything you're doing. I think it's very essential to have a space where everyone can get together and talk and commune and share their ideas and projects, and how can we all work together to push each other to achieve those goals. It's important.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sign off, and I'll get,
All right.
and we'll say, hang out by the fire pit.
Yeah, perfect.
Be your friends.
That's right.
All right. Cheers.
See ya.